Chief, this doesn't sound like the title of a Quinn businessman.
So she doesn't know.
Let me guess. You're with the Dis City authorities.
Admit your true identity. Sorry for hiding this from you. I was sent by the authorities to eliminate the desert bandits. We are still hiding shit from her. We are not telling the exact situation. Although I lied about my identity, the promise I made still stands. Stargazer shakes her head and pushes you gently from behind.
No matter who you are, I have already finished your request. Get on board. It's time to part ways.
You turn your head back. Stargazer is back on the Ferrari, riding side saddle into the desert sunset like a painting printed on a tarot card. You do not want to part with her. She is powerful yet calm, with a plethora of knowledge about white sands. Those are all the qualities that are indispensable for eliminating desert bandits. However, moreover, she's a sinner. With this in mind, you immediately turn back to walk towards Stargazer. Invite Stargazer to board. She clearly just denied that. If I offer to hire you as an advisor for this mission on behalf of the Dis City authorities, will you accept?
I have already completed your request.
Then what if I invite you as the MBCC's chief? You stretch out your hand to her, revealing the power of the shackles in your palm. I can help you and also need you. Your wisdom can help me defeat the desert bandits. I promise I won't let them hurt you. Stargazer doesn't accept or refuse. She simply flashes a knowing smile.
Lead the way, Chief.
No, she decided to join us. Nice.
Evil will eventually.
And that was FAC 106. There is only FAC till like 12, I'm guessing, or 113. Whatever. FAC 107. Joining the team. Level 30. A new member has joined the team, bringing about new horizon. How shall you use her wisdom and power? You pondered this carefully. You must ponder this carefully.
With me when it's done.
Who is saying that? I've heard that voice before. I cannot tell.
New
It's not
personnel
Demolition.
data entry in progress. Facial recognition for Stargazer successful. Welcome aboard the V710.
As you step into the cockpit, your three companions look towards you in unison and gawk at Stargazer behind you. Introduce Stargazer to your companions. When I was trapped in the tide of ashes, Stargazer saved me and brought me to the shelter. She excels at dealing with various crises in white sand, so I invited her to be our special advisor. If you run into trouble, she'll help us out. You do not forget the existence of the Outland Affair Bureau and deliberately omit Stargazer's sin identity in your introduction to avoid unnecessary repercussions.
You mean, not only did she go inside the Tide of Ashes all by herself, she also got you out too? That's incredible! It's almost impossible to tell where you're going inside the Tide of Ashes. How did you do it? Oh yeah, did you see an Apostle of Ashes? If you saw one, can you tell me about...
What is that? A long slender finger presses against Kawakawa's lips. Ooh.
Shh. You ask so many questions. Where shall I start?
Man, her voice is throwing me off IRL. That's so annoying. Kawakawa's face blushes bright red. He hurriedly takes a few steps back, looking embarrassed.
Look at how bashful Kawakawa has become. He's even at a loss for words.
I'm not.
You cannot help but smile as you watch Hela tease Kawakawa. The Stargazer does not partake in the scene. Her distant and detached disposition reminds you that even though you have revealed your true identity, there is still a barrier between you two.
Your name is Kawakawa, right? It's true that it's impossible to pinpoint directions in the Tide of Ashes. However, there are countless air currents, and one can leave by simply following the direction of the currents.
But there's a lot of turbulence in the Tide of Ashes. Even if you follow the currents, there's a high chance of getting caught in the turbulence. Once caught in the turbulence, it is theoretically impossible to get out alive.
Yes, this relies on the experience of the pilot. However, there is another foolproof way, and that is to use an ash crystal. It can drive away sandworms and pierce through ashes, for it is a creation born from the tide of ashes and the infallible treasure of the desert bandits.
Did she come aboard to get her hands on the ash crystal that we have? Kawakawa looks down and ponders for a moment before showing an epiphany.
I understand now! No wonder the people of this city tell me they cannot explore other routes, because this city's ash crystal died!
Once an ash crystal dies, it becomes useless. You cannot use it to deal with the desert bandits, unless you find a way to reactivate it.
Stargazer's words plunged the room into silence. The power of ash crystal is related to mania, and your shackles also seem to be able to affect the sandworms. That's certainly a possibility. There may be a chance to reactivate a dead ash crystal. Inquires Stargazer. If I give you our dead ash crystal, would you be able to find a way to reactivate it? For the first time, you see Stargazer fall into silence. Everyone looks quite doubtful. But out of trust and respect for you, no one questions your suggestion except...
I cannot believe what I just heard. You want to give the ash crystal to some unknown woman? I will never allow this under my watch. At first, I turned a blind eye to the fact that you invited someone who is not part of the mission to participate without permission. Now it seems that the Outland Affairs Bureau will have to reassess the security clearance of this individual. V710, I order you to immediately
Outland Affairs Bureau's comms abruptly cuts off. The screen flashes the words abnormal disruption.
Warning! Warning! The V710 is under attack by an unidentified source. Temporary defense mode has been activated. Hypercube force field is in effect.
V710?
I'm still thinking that she might be here for the ash crystal. We'll see.
What's happening?
The desert bandits haven't given up. They seem to have used the ash crystal to command the sandworms to attack the shelter again.
We literally have so few backups. Like, it infuriates me, because many a times in this game they're just like, oh well, things are attacking or do something. Just so weird, like the way they do it, or whatever. I guess it's fine. It's like we have no backup. We sometimes can beat up like 100 enemies. Sometimes you're running away from the same enemies. It's just weird. Another victory.
Damn it! We defeated the desert bandits, but why are these sandworms still around?
They're probably trying to get to the ash crystal or whatever, or she's pulling them so that she can get her hands on the ash crystal.
With your level of power, it is impossible to defeat the sandworms, let alone ones controlled by an ash crystal. The only way to tame them is to go along with their nature.
Easy for you to say. What do we do now?
An exotic fragment seeps out from the container in Stargazer's hand, the spice the sandworms love.
The battle back there tired out the sandworms. Now they need to soothe their spirits.
With a brush of her hand, the spice powder scatters to the wind, drift towards the fleeting sand deserts.
The sandworms
Deserts.
stopped attacking.
Bandits.
Wow, it really worked!
Chief is right. The Stargazer is really good at dealing with crises in White Sands. If the Chief insists, I think it's okay for her to try to reactivate the ash crystal.
It's a dead crystal anyway. We can't possibly damage it further, so why not give it a shot? Instead of letting it rot away in the vault, we should take the gamble. I also support letting the Stargazer try. If that annoying old man starts blabbing again, we'll just cut the comms.
No need to cut the comms. We'll just ignore him.
Oh, is this a power? She's slowly like controlling their minds too. The one old man did say that like looking into her eyes makes like everyone compliant or whatever.